This is YSM Sports Media. Want to thank you for all your love and support. Really appreciate it. We wouldn't be able to do this without you. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now and click the notification button for all future content. Here with the secret weapon,
What's up, man?
Rob Acosta. What's good, Rob?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all right, man. What you got going on today?
I don't know. They just still in camp and working with the guys later on this afternoon, getting ready for the Golden Gloves. We got a couple. We just got a guy in the Nationals, Damian Tenerillo, fights at 178. So he fights tomorrow. I'm unsure what ring it is.
Okay, I actually seen that kid. I like him, yo.
Yo, Dame?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dame a little monster, man.
Reminds me of Canelo.
You
Like
think?
with it the way he moves.
With his head
Yeah.
movements and all that? Yeah, he can punch, man. That kid's 17, but he built like a football player, man. That kid can punch. He hits hard. He hits really hard.
You think if he wins the Nationals, are they going to go like the Olympic route, or are they going
I'm not too sure. I do talk to his dad is in like real full control of a lot of stuff that goes on with Dame, as he rightfully so. But his dad has done a great job so far, and he's learning everything he can from different people, man. He's learning a lot of stuff, and that's how everybody starts somewhere. You know what I mean? But they're going to be a successful team.
I feel like he's flying under the radar. He's not as talked
but
about.
you know what? You know what's the good thing is that most people that fly under the radar end up the most successful though. And the people that are on a broader audience, when they fall hard because they're always being watched. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's everybody still watches Floyd. Everybody still talks about Floyd. Floyd can post something of him being in the cage and the whole industry goes nuts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then you got other guys like Berto who didn't have as great success as Floyd did, but he goes back to Haiti all the time and does stuff for his own country. So it's like he's loved in his own community. You know what I mean? I respect that.
Okay. Now, you're currently in camp for Sergey Lipinets, right?
Yeah.
How's Boots looking?
That kid's special, man. Hey, there's not much I can say. Like, at the end of the day, bro, no matter what I say, no matter how they watch him, no matter who he fights, he's always going to be that guy that's underrated. You know what I mean? Like, no one's going to give him the credit he deserves until he puts a couple of those top guys to sleep. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing when Floyd was coming up. Floyd, fought a lot of great fighters. And he didn't really start getting his recognition until Castillo, then Corrales, then Gotti, De La Hoya, and then he just exploded. You know what I mean? But look, think about it. No matter who he fought, everybody has something negative to say. And that's the same thing that Boots is going to struggle with. But that's all right, though, because his hand's going to show it. Kid he's special, man.
I don't really understand the criticism. It's because it's like, all right, oh, we want to see him against this guy, then we fight this guy, and then he dispatches him early. Oh, that guy was a bum. Then we want to see this guy. It's like
That's what it is, though, bro. You got most critics, most comments that you read on posts, videos, and things like that are coming from people that don't know really shit about boxing. They don't know nothing, bro. They the type of people that you can have a conversation with them, and when you mention certain people that are up and coming, they have no idea who they are. You know what I mean? They only know the pay-per-view, the DAZN, the Showtime guys.
Yeah.
But they don't know those guys that were up and coming. You know what I mean? They didn't hear about Islam De Lara until he was winning titles. But he was on an undercard with less than 5 fights with Pacquiao and Hatton. You know what I mean? And he was actually shown on television. And this is around the time that was like unheard of, for real. Most of these critics, man, they don't know shit. That's why sometimes, like, you know, you read these videos, and I mean, listen to these videos, and you read these comments, and it's just irrelevant. Like, your opinion really don't matter if you don't know the sport. It's different if you want to be educated, but if you don't know what you're talking about, and you never laced up the gloves, all you did was a couple street fights, and you think you cool because you knocked out a couple guys that can't fight. Hey, that's what's up. Yeah, but step into a real ring.
What is it going to take for Boots to get the love that he deserves?
Just keep doing what he's doing. Honestly, at this point, his father, his whole team that has been with him has done a great job. You know, it's a lot of trial and error with these years of boxing, and he just got to keep doing what he's doing. He don't lose focus. The kid don't do much, but he lives this sport for real. Like, you know, a lot of people would say, "Oh yeah, I box." Do you? You know what I mean? Other people, they don't talk about it. And Boots is a humble dude. He's not gonna talk trash. He's not gonna do none of that stuff. You know what I mean? He's humble. He's gonna go in that ring. He's gonna show what he can do, and that's it. So for him to get the credit he deserves, I would just say he's just gonna have to keep doing what he's doing.
What role do you play in the camp?
I'm a strength and conditioning coach.
All right. So how do you prepare for a Sergey Lipinets? It's like, all right, so Boots is a really big 147. I don't think people realize how big he is. Like, are you melting him down? Like, how is he able to make weight so easily and still be strong and fast?
He has a high metabolic rate, so he can burn weight quick and still remain strong. But it's a lot of stuff that he's adding into his camp, like certain natural herbs and medicines and whatnot, to keep him strong, to not so much be fatigued as the weight comes off. But sometimes people, you get a little drained, and then you start feeling all sluggish because the weight is coming off. But you know, if you're doing the camp the right way and taking a lot of the right nutrients and minerals, you shouldn't feel that way.
What's doing the camp the right way?
Just doing it in stages. You know, you don't. Most people, they get shots of major fights, and then they just jump into some and then they rush it, right? Or they overwork, and then they look good during the camp, but then when the fight time comes and the lights get put on, they gas out because they overwork. So for things like that, you have to work in stages. You know, you want to start off with a nice light week and then go into the tougher weeks and then start taking stuff away so that way they can still maintain their strength, their speed, and be able to perform in any condition. You know, you can the day of the weigh-in, you might feel great, but you might eat something and feel all lethargic, and then now you got stomach issues going into the fight. So it has to be a very important role from beginning all the way to end.
What are some mistakes that fighters and trainers make when cutting weight or when preparing in the camp for a fight?
Yo, it's a lot of, that's a good question, because I've seen a lot of fighters come in and out, and throughout my years of doing this, I've seen a lot of fighters just do so many improper stuff. Like, they don't do sit-ups right, they don't do push-ups right, they don't do a proper pull-up, and they just sometimes eat the wrong stuff. So most people, when they're dieting, unless if you have like an open mind of trying different things and eliminating certain stuff just for that specific time period, people have no idea what they're doing. You know, they'll go through a whole day without eating. You know, it's different if it's like Ramadan or something like that, you know what I mean? But even at that point, they're still eating when the sun is down, and then they don't eat until the sun sets again. But they're eating. You know what I mean? So a lot of fighters, when they go into their diets and stuff, I've seen a lot of improper things. But the crazy thing is that if it works for them, they're not going to give you the time of day to hear them out. They're not going to hear you out because it works for them. But
until it doesn't work.
Until it doesn't work. That's why most fighters, they can't maintain certain weights for a certain period of time. Most fighters that retire, they get all big and then they fat. And they can still rumble, but they get a lot bigger than what they normally are. They're not as in shape. Now, there's two different types of shapes. You can be in great shape where you can run, you look the part or whatever, but then there's other shapes where it's like you're not in fighting shape. Fighting shape is a whole different type of shape. You know what I mean? So it's very different.